It is the Riot. We recommend arguing on the internet today. Have you started into that yet?
Why do you think that'd be a good idea for today?
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you haven't yet, like, go ahead, get out there, take a strong stance on something.
Gets the blood flowing. Is that it? Starts the week off on a really strong way.
If it's one of those things where you're like, man, I just feel lonely, I'm not hearing from a lot of people, it's going to happen for you.
Do you know someone who posted something political? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just see some people yelling at each other on Twitter.
Aww.
I love how Twitter, no matter how many times I tell it not to suggest things to me, it's like, no, you're getting it. This is what's going to happen.
Even if you tell it no, it wants you to at least acknowledge that doesn't do anything at all.
Yeah. So, well, hey, today in the podcast, here, let's close this.
Let's see what we got.
We talked about what we watched this weekend.
We did.
Clorox wipes. Ooh, Last of Us 2. Now, there's some people arguing on Twitter about that.
That's actually interesting because it, deals more with this. It's not just a normal leak. I feel like.
No, it looks like somebody has leaked basically the parts of the game that you would wonder about.
Yeah.
They've just told you all the story spoilers.
It's an intentional, really, really trying to get back at a company leak.
Yeah. They leaked this to try to ruin this company's launch because they say the company treated them so poorly.
So in turn, they
Wow.
didn't turn their they didn't turn the other cheek or whatever. They're still getting it.
No, they posted. So we got that. We talked me weirdly falling in love with quarantine life.
That's interesting.
Oh, I'm in. I can't wait to get home and lock the door.
I know. Yeah, you're all ready to go.
Let's see. We talk about an electric Ford Mustang, an Avengers re-release, and the idea of going to the movie theater just to get concessions.
I think the Avengers thing, just put that aside. You'll really hear the heart of it come at the end of our topic with that, because we talk about concessions, movie theater snacks, and then if you went to the movies, again, what would you want to go back to watching if it wasn't a new release, if they tried to get you another way to get back in?
And as the show wraps up, you'll hear us and the Trump Bucks epics.
Woo! What? It's a day changer. My whole day has changed.
It's big.
It's nice.
It's big.
I finally got in.
Come on. So I think that's all I got.
Enjoy the podcast. Don't forget to check out riot.radiou.com if you want to find our other interviews, our Obadiah plays, our Riot after shows, all the fun extras that you could be enjoying as well. Or join us at Radio U Riot on Facebook or YouTube.
All right. That's all I got.
Enjoy the day.
Bye.
If it's louder than it has to be and way worse than it has any right to be, it must be the worst of the riot. On Radio U.
We asked what you watched this weekend. Derek said he watched the first 3 episodes of Defending Jacob on Apple TV+.
Oh, okay. Was that the one with
Captain America?
Chris Evans. Mm-hmm. I know him. He's a human. He's a person. He's not just a character.
He was in, I just see him as Captain America playing different people.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of ads for that show, so I've noticed it.
So many ads for it. And then Harlan says he rewatched Osmosis Jones on a whim. Terrific decision. It was an onslaught of puns.
I don't think I remembered it. I pulled it up just to see. It's from some animated thing, but looks interesting.
All right. What about you? Watching it?
Did I watch anything? I meant to watch the Chris Hemsworth Netflix thing.
Oh, yeah.
They actually say it's really good.
I've heard good things.
I think I might watch it maybe this week or this coming weekend.
Mm-hmm. Or next week or the weekend after that.
Well, I don't want to decide yet. I've got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Plenty of evenings to watch that movie.
I hear you.
I don't think there was anything else specifically that I watched, so I just kind of went through things.
Okay. Yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes of Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, was it
on
good?
Netflix. Yeah, it's fine. I don't
doesn't seem like a rousing thing.
It didn't blow me away. I don't have a real a bunch of history with Ghost in the Shell, but I thought it was pretty good. And then I also watched Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. 1969.
Oh, you got a classic movie in?
I did. I actually got in 2 classic movies. So Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Robert Redford, Paul Newman, and I cannot remember the girl's name from that, though she was famous at the time. And it's really good. there was something about the last, let's say, 15 minutes that left me with such melancholy.
You didn't like the ending?
I mean, I even knew how it ended. And yet I still, when it came up to it, it was just like, oh, gosh, I need a palate cleanser after this.
I need something ridiculous.
Yeah.
I need to move to something else.
And then I also watched The Thing, 1982. John Carpenter directing, Kurt Russell.
Is John Carpenter the vampire movie guy?
He did make a movie called Vampires. It's often thought of as his worst one.
Oh, great. Well, in comparison, is it worse than that?
So it was that was interesting. So those are my two
classic movies,
historic items over the weekend. Yeah, that movie is gross, and it's fascinating. It's all practical effects, and it was definitely one of those things where you're like, how did they do that? How did they do that? And
all right,
don't
so
tell me.
You went from something melancholy to gross.
Yeah.
What? Anything else, or to balance it out, or was that basically it?
I also saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood again.
Again, you're watching that all the time.
Well, I mean, I've seen it twice.
Well, that practically all the time.
I watched a lot of movies, huh? Yeah.
Do you do gameplay?
Yeah, I played a ton of The Division 2 because I do what I want.
No one bring it up, all right? Well, you had a productive weekend then.
Yeah, let's see. Mike says he played Fallout 76 all weekend. Kristen says, thank you for still being on the air. We don't know how to get going in the morning without you guys.
Oh, you guys are so sweet.
So nice of you, Kristen and Ken.
Thank you for texting.
There you go, Nikki. I think... Look, I can't be sure, but it sounds like I may have just spent the weekend with my TV. And when I say it out loud, I'm a little embarrassed about it.
No, you shouldn't.
Be embarrassed or spend the weekend with my TV?
Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it.
All right.
We would give the Riot flowers to show our appreciation, but Obadiah's probably allergic. What isn't he allergic to? This is the Riot on Radio U.
Nikki and I came in. We took our temperatures.
Yeah.
We then took I'm not going to say it wasn't like an all over thing, but we each bathed in some sort of a hand sanitizer.
It's the schedule that you do when you get in and then you do it when you leave.
Then we baked in the ultraviolet chamber for a while, and now we're fine.
Yeah, we're good to do the show.
Yeah, no big deal. So according to this, which Nikki has passed to me, it looks like we should be back into peak Clorox/Lysol wipes by August.
That's something that a lot of people go to the store and they try to find. Like we have to have it in the studio, and you have to go find them. It's very difficult. It's almost like you have to be tipped off when there is some.
Hey, and you know what? There are Reddit forums. That's all they do.
That are created to tell you where these Clorox wipes and the Lysol is. And if you're wanting to just go to the store to find it, it doesn't look like that'll be till after August.
Yeah, that's something, right? So what does that... But at what point
does it level out?
Does it level out, and do we not need as many anymore?
I think that'll happen.
You think that's the same time, like August, supply meets demand, and then demand begins to recede?
Well, I think the demand will recede over the summer, and then in August, it'll help it boost it back up to where there actually is some.
Well, depending on what schools do, they'll need it for all the desks.
That's true. They were saying that they're actually having a limitation when it comes to the ingredients needed for these items, and some of that just won't be available until later this summer.
I wonder about the toilet paper. When does that get back to?
They don't cover the toilet paper stuff. That have said pretty much the same thing, though. Like when things the demand starts to go down, then it'll be available to have more of it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I definitely have crossed over and am now guilty of the toilet paper hoarding.
Oh, you just grab some when you're there?
No. What happened was back when the toilet paper panic started in mid-March, mind you.
Yeah.
I went ahead and I was like, I'll just order some on Amazon. It was out of stock, and I was like, you know what? They'll fill this whatever the heck they can. Like, it'll just whatever. So yesterday, I got a huge box on my porch.
Oh, you didn't know it was toilet paper?
It was toilet paper.
Finally came, right?
I was like, oh, yeah.
So you're good.
I ordered that toilet paper. So, yeah, I'm officially part of the problem now.
At the beginning of all this, we did say never again will we not have a overstock supply of toilet paper. I'm even throwing in paper towels and cleaning supplies.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you gotta have Clorox wipes.
That's how things have changed. We will always have extra.
I've started blowing my nose with Clorox wipes. That's what I'm doing.
No, you don't.
What? That keeps it clean.
No, it doesn't.
It keeps it clean.
If someone out there is doing that, I don't know how long that's going to last for you. You should not do that.
You don't think it's a good idea?
I don't think that's a good idea at all. And I don't think we should say it because someone will do it.
What can happen?
A lot can happen. You're not supposed to do that.
You're not?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Does it say it on the thing?
That stuff's expensive. That's worth a lot right now.
You can't afford that.
You can't afford to blow your nose into that.
That's fair.
Just find something else.
They even make morning people want to reach for the snooze button. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So, Nikki, over the weekend, it looks like maybe even overnight, someone who worked with Naughty Dog. You're like, what's that? Naughty Dog is the PlayStation studio that has made all the Uncharted games, The Last of Us, The Last of Us 2.
Some pretty high-profile games.
The Last of Us 2 was supposed to be out in a month, and they have delayed it. Now, the theory is some people are like, well, it's because it's not done. Most people think that it's done, but that they're actually delaying it, and they're going to release it this fall because basically all the games are not going to be done, so they'll need something.
They need something to release when the PlayStation, the new one, releases too?
Right.
To try to get you to buy the new one?
And so that's the speculation. Now, there's that. There's also a lot of speculation that Naughty Dog has not been good to its employees. I couldn't begin to tell you if that's true. Remember, that's all internet rumor kind of stuff. But in the middle of all of that, last night, somebody who works for that company apparently leaked
the game.
Not the game, but in like very important cutscenes, they basically have leaked all of the story, like everything about the story. And they said they did it as a way to lash out at the company for how poorly they've been treated for years.
Yikes. Do they have any clue? Are they trying to figure out who it was?
Don't know. The company hasn't said a word.
And they're not going to just let this go.
I don't imagine that they will.
They might not make noise to where it continues the story. They don't want to draw your eyes to the fact that you can now figure out the storyline.
Right. Well, the thing that to me was tough is that I saw it trending and I was like, why is this trending? And the first tweet that I saw spoiled at least one significant moment, if not several others. So you're just like, oh, that's a shame.
That's too bad. On one hand, if the company's doing wrong, they're trying to get back at them or to at least draw attention to the fact that they're treating their employees wrong. On the other hand, that just hurts the fans. And you're waiting and you've been patient. You didn't do anything wrong.
My thought, looking at it, is I don't know. Like, would that keep me from playing it? I don't think so. Do I like the choices that I've seen displayed? No.
Maybe it'll be better. Maybe that was the worst one you saw.
I don't know. That's rough, dude. That is rough. And again, too, let's keep in mind sometimes disgruntled employees that aren't happy with the way they've been treated aren't happy because the cherry is always out of the freestyle machine.
Oh, sure.
So who?
Well, you don't know.
You don't know. Like, it's a he said, she said, who knows kind of situation. Like, you have no idea, like, who, what, and where. So, yeah. But now the speculation is a lot of people are wondering if they'll just go ahead and release it.
So which game was it?
The Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2.
It was the last, to me, maybe it's not, but it feels like the last PlayStation 4 game. Like the last big, high-profile Sony release before they released their new console. So,
well, now you can find out more about it.
Now we can find out more about
Spoilers.
It. More than you probably want to know.
Well, sometimes you want more information before the game comes out. Now they're finally giving it to you.
Think about it like this. You may have just saved yourself $60.
Or you may be so excited to spend $60.
Who knows?
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
It is Monday, April 27th. All right, which means that you have got this week to get your act together and get ready to put in your application on Friday. And you're like, wait, application for what? Space Force, bro.
For the Netflix show or for the other thing?
For the real Space Force.
The real thing?
Real Space Force is accepting applications on Friday. Now, I don't think it's just from like Joe Schmoes. like you and me.
Oh, it's not an online,
the
like
unenlisted.
You have to probably be military, maybe.
If you are now military, apparently this Friday you will be able to request a transfer
to Space Force. You gotta, I feel like, weigh the pros and cons. Like, should you transfer over? Can you transfer back if things don't work out?
My thought is, like,
What
this
do you
is your
do?
chance to get in on the ground floor of an intergalactic organization.
Yeah, but that might not be when you want to go over. What if things are just harder because it's not ready yet?
I would think your opportunity for advance, like this, I'm actually not making up. I would think your opportunity for advancement would be stronger
In the beginning?
there at the beginning than it would be later. I don't know that to be true.
Some
but
people
that's my
like
thought.
space, and you want to be in the force. So,
So active duty Air Force officers and enlisted personnel in existing space career fields and select other career fields are eligible to apply for transfer.
hey, maybe there's still a chance then. If they say there's other career fields,
Hey, somebody has to
play the radio station.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be the voice of it.
Someone has to give.
Oh, let's
them-
give us your best. You're the voice of Space Force.
Okay, but see, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking like, oh, if he's going to be the voice of Space Force, he's got to be
Boisterous.
like, we're going to show them commies how to get to the moon and beyond. But I don't think so. I think what they're going to be looking for is someone to make them, this is just for the astronauts. And so they'll want something to make them feel a little more at home. Mm-hmm. So I think you and I just doing what we normally do.
Everyday people, everyday voices.
That's what they need. So
It could work too.
It could.
As long as you're like, ooh, Space Force Radio is here on Earth.
Wow.
I just want to make sure everybody
just
knows
like
that.
being in space.
It is, right? It's at home and it's here.
Wow.
It's not going.
What an opportunity, Nikki.
So I told you I am not going at the first round. We need to have a lot more people in space before I want to go.
Chief Master Sergeant Roger Toberman of U.S. Space Force says the choice to transfer into the Space Force will be it's hard to take it seriously, will be a personal decision for each individual, just as it was for me. Each of us volunteered to serve. Now we ask for volunteers to help build a new force that is tailor-made and laser-focused.
Laser-focused.
On joint warfighting and the space domain.
If anyone listening is active duty and you're transferring over, you let us know.
I'll tell you right now. I feel like if I was active Air Force, I'd be like,
you would have to do that.
I'm in.
I mean, it's exactly what you wanted since you were probably a little kid.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
You're going into Space Force.
It's your chance to be a part of Space Force.
For everybody else, then there is that Netflix show coming next month. So
you can experience it.
That's practically like joining Space Force, I'm sure.
I'm sure it'll be just the same.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So, Nikki, you've made pet purchases before.
You mean, have I adopted or bought a pet?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, you go to the puppy mill, get a new one.
I knew you were going to say that.
What?
I have adopted pets and I have purchased pets, yes.
Purchased them from
various
stores that are known puppy mill operators.
No, that's not it. I just wanted a hypoallergenic doggy and he was right there.
He was just right there.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it's tough all over. I know.
No, I mean, it's hard sometimes to find the dog that's right for you at different places. And that puppy needed a home too. So
that's right. It's not their fair where they come from.
No.
Or it's not their fault, I mean.
No, I wanted but I've also bought locally from
you guys
just
know
like.
she's having a hard time telling you?
No, I'm just having a hard time explaining it. But
explaining your behavior?
Yeah, my two puppies I got from someone who was like, well, here's a mommy doggy that fell in love with the daddy doggy, but they can't keep all the puppy doggies.
Sure.
So I've had it that way too.
All right. Well, Nikki, have you ever had a dog that you've bought and gotten sick and then you made sure you kept your receipt and then took it back?
Never taken it back, but Rolo had surgery before I got him. He is one that I bought from a puppy store, and he was sick. And they did say that he picked it up from being at the store.
And
so, no, I didn't take him back.
But did you get
he had to go to the vet and he had to work through it all, so it took a little bit of time.
Well, but did they help pay for that?
They did not. All right, so I'm not taking him back.
Should have gone back with a receipt.
No, I didn't want to take him back.
You should have. Well, that's what's happening here. Michael Davey bought an Electus parrot. The parrot's name, Tiberius.
Nice.
$2,100.
That's a lot for a bird. Wow. Is that how much those things cost?
Yeah, but it's supposed to live about 40 years.
Wow.
So, that bird's going to be with you for a long time.
That's an investment right there.
And so when he bought him, he noticed that his tail feathers were looking a little not quite right. Mm-hmm. Then we got him home. He lost some tail feathers, and the bird store guy was like, yeah, he's molting. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it.
But did he have the one thing where he plucks his own feathers out?
No. Well, he just has a terminal disease. He's expected to die very soon.
Oh, that's sad.
And this guy's like, I've got a receipt right here. I want my money back.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, how long did they say?
Well, we don't know, but I know this. He's suing him in Canadian court.
That's a lot of money for the bird to not make it.
Yeah, $2,100 for a bird that's sick.
Some pet stores now, it's weird. Like, they charge a lot of money for the dog, and then they're like, well, as long as you buy the food for the dog or like something, so much money per month.
Right.
Then when the dog passes away, you can come back and get another dog for free. But you have to buy every month something from that store.
So that's kind of like with my printer, where I pay so much a month for
the ink. Pretty much.
So what you're saying is you're a part of the puppy service.
Yeah, you are. And then when that puppy dies, the dog dies, then you go back, you can get a new one for like the same price.
They are selling you a dog that it's going to die?
No, it eventually will die, but then they want you to know that, okay, when that dog does pass away, you come back here as long as you were following the rules every month during the dog's life.
Boy, I'd love to have that discussion with a grieving pet owner. Like, oh, you know what? This is weird, but like in February of 18...
You missed it.
You're supposed to spend $50. You only spent $48, so I'm afraid we're not going to be able to honor our agreement.
Well, I kind of think they probably wouldn't, because they're like that. They're looking for the loophole with it. But that is something that pet stores do. All
right. Well,
poor guy with the poor bird.
Yeah. So just a heads up, know in advance what you're getting into, because this guy,
you can't know. You cannot know for sure.
Yeah, but you need to know, like, hey, if you sold me, he's saying, of course, that they knew the bird
was sick,
had this disease, and was, trying to pawn it off at a discount or something. But
that could be true.
Yeah.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, I think I'm starting to, I'm going the other direction in a way that's probably not a great idea.
Which way?
Okay, remember when we were all like, how can we be locked up all the time? We want to get out. We want to do stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, no, I don't ever want to leave.
Oh, you've gone back?
I've gone the other direction. Now I have begun to realize that because of this stay-at-home stuff, normally my weekends are pretty busy. Like, there's a lot going on. There's expectations. You need to be here at this time, this time, this time. I mean, I'm like, go 7 days a week. Now, you know what? I got home on Friday and it was like, well, see you guys Monday.
See you then.
Just whatever. Like, enjoy it.
Well, in the beginning, though, it almost led to more anxiety.
Yeah.
But now
I'm over the hump, dude.
Over the weekend, you were fine.
I'm into it.
You're comfortable.
I'm into it.
That's so funny.
I'm just excited about the fact, like, the more I've thought about it, the more I'm like, wait. You know, you always complain about there's so much going on, there's so much whatever. There's nothing now. You don't have to. Like,
no one asks you to help. No one asks you to do things.
I can't help you because we have to quarantine. Sorry.
Aww.
No, I can't be at the thing because I have to stay inside. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We can still go outside. Yep, but I can't come over.
So do you think then you're fine to stick with more of this lifestyle when things start to ease up?
Yeah, I'm going to start. Like, I'm not.
You won't feel comfortable going out for a while?
Yeah, I'm really scared for my health and the health of others, so I'm going to need to stay in.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I do remember in the beginning, it was more like, man, now that we can't go do things, you really want to do things.
And now I'm just like, dude, I don't ever want to do anything again.
You've gone full circle or even then some.
No. Like, it's a turnaround, it's a change, and I'm ready. I am just like, wow, this is so great. And like at night, I'm always like, man, Nikki and I are in here.
We come in and do the show still.
Really early, right? And then, but like my days go on forever. I'm up until like 9, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. And then it's like do it all over again. And now, like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, I'm done. That's awesome.
That's all you got to do.
You know how awesome that is? Like the back half of the day, I don't have any, like you come into the meeting at 5, you're going to be at the thing at 6:30. Oh yeah, we don't start till 7. No, there's nothing. And
and you love it.
Yeah, I've turned a corner. Now I'm just like,
now
yes,
this is where you're at.
There's nothing. I don't have to go do anything now. I can just work, get done, and be done. Instead, it was always like, well, yeah, you're not working, but you got to be here at this time and this time and this time and this time. Oh, not anymore.
So this is where Obi's at.
Yeah, I think it seemed like maybe it was sometime on Friday afternoon. It was like somebody threw a switch, and I was like, wait a minute.
Well, you did watch, you said yourself, you watched a lot of movies and played a lot of games. Seems like you really got comfortable.
I watched a lot of movies, played a lot of games, and had a bunch of time left over. I read a whole bunch. I did a ton of reading.
You got through all of it.
I did. And when at the end of the weekend, I was just like, man, this is great. This is great. So, I mean, I still, came to work today.
Well,
whatever.
Josh texted, said, I totally agree. I'm loving the downtime and the mental rest the quarantine has provided.
I kind of don't want to go back. Like, you think about all the different things in your life where people and organizations acted like, not that it was almost like they had a right to your time and like, how dare you be anything other than busy, 16 hours a day. And now I'm just like, yeah, I can't. Governor says so.
Wouldn't be right.
Wouldn't want to break the law now, would I?
All right, well, now that we know where you're at, this is where Obi's currently working at.
Just a heads up, that means everything opens tomorrow. Like that's
because you've been enjoying the downtime. Now things will change and you're going to be expected.
Now that I'm on board, we're back. We're going to go 110%. That's where this is going.
That's just how Obadiah leads things.
That's exactly right.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So I'm thinking about getting a new car, and I wasn't until over the weekend I saw Ford's new Mustang Cobra Jet.
Look good?
Well, it's an electric Mustang, and I feel like my ever-growing environmental concern will be, it's perfect.
Actually, it looks really nice.
It really does look nice. So it is, they say it's an electric dragster with 1,400 horsepower.
How much is it?
What it means is you can't actually buy it.
Is it not street legal or something?
I don't think that it is, actually.
Oh, it's a prototype.
Which is why I need it. I need a non-street legal car.
Well, that'll really help you.
I've had cars that were not street legal for different reasons.
But this one you need. Mm-hmm. I know, like for the other reason where your car's not doing well, like it needs to be fixed before it can go back on the street.
We're sorry. It doesn't pass emission standards.
This one, it doesn't want to be street legal.
Or any standards for that matter. So
it destroyed a quarter mile in a low 8-second range, they're saying, at more than 170 miles per hour.
And it's electric.
Nice. So this prototype was designed to prove that Ford's electric innovation side, like it can do this as an electric car.
Yeah, it does. So, you know what? The other thing I'm looking at here is the all-electric Mustang Mach-E. Mm-hmm. It's a family SUV. I didn't know they made a family SUV Mustang. That's a thing?
Is that also a prototype, or is that... Oh, that's new. So that's just a brand new thing.
Yeah, it's brand new. So instead of, getting yourself a CR-V or what's the Toyota version of that?
A RAV4.
RAV4 or something. You could get yourself a Mustang.
A Mach-E.
Mach-E. So you can have it.
Great, you're really selling it.
You think so?
I think
is it working?
I think it is.
Is it working?
Yeah, that one looks pretty good.
I'm sure it's fine.
I don't know. It looks like sometimes the SUVs, certain companies kind of squash them down more, and I kind of like a taller one.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
This one does feel a little more in the hybrid category, more car than SUV.
Than SUV, it does.
Yeah. Sometimes you end up with them being the other way around, but that is a very car.
They were saying Ford might delay that launch. When production restarts, they'll know more.
Oh, Nikki, I already got my name in.
You're fine. You want to get the prototype of the first one.
I put my deposit in. So I'm sure that it's just right around the corner, no doubt.
It must be a weird time because I don't think, depending again on the state you're in, you're not really able to go like try or look at cars.
Right.
You can go if you just buy it, but that's it.
Okay. I was thinking the same thing. I was talking to a guy yesterday. He was going to a car dealership. I should have asked more questions, but like he made an appointment and all this stuff, and you have to go for your appointment. Like, how does
you can't just go and look at things anymore.
How does that work?
Must be harder.
It's cool. I'm going to drive my car till it blows up, so I'm not worried about it.
Going back to till it's not street legal for the it's so bad reason.
Yep, exactly that right there.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on RadioU.
We should get some Kettle Bells for the studio.
Kettle Bells? Ooh, for working out.
Yeah, and I mean, like in between songs, we could just have them. So
I think The Riot is still staying up too late.
Wait, I really am.
Really off schedule for the hours. The weekend's fine, but like when you come back like during the week, we get up so early still because we still come to the studio to do the show that you can feel the lack of sleep.
Oh, dude, it's killing me.
So if you had some kettlebells, you could do a little
we do a little
light workout.
Yeah, like we just set them up here. Something on some padding so as to not cause any trouble.
Now, you do know we used to talk about that side over there being where the Coke Freestyle machine would go.
There's room for both.
Is there room for both?
There is. I mean, Nikki, we don't need like a whole suite of kettlebells. Maybe like a 15, a 20, a 25, maybe a 30.
Well.
And like we just have those.
Uh-huh.
And fine.
We could do that, or we could do the medicine ball rack that you get, so...
I want it to be a little heavier than a medicine ball.
Well, no, there's some heavier ones.
Okay, all right, sure.
Okay, great. Well, we got ideas.
But I mean, like that. There's room for a freestyle machine and that.
We can barely walk around as it is, not because of lack of room. There's plenty of room.
No, there's plenty of room. I just can't stay awake.
I'm tired. It's very hard.
I've been doing push-ups during the songs. You're like, nuh-uh, yeah.
Yes, he does.
Trying to wake up.
So, do you want to go back to working out before the show?
No, I don't.
If we went to bed earlier.
I don't want to go to bed earlier.
There it is. There it is.
I don't. Well,
no, I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to at all.
Okay.
But we might have to.
Have to. Whatever. You know what? Carpe diem, everybody.
Listen,
come on.
Our body can't handle it. We're all snacking. We're all eating things. It's just we're not at a balance right now.
There's something to that. I had nachos for dinner last night.
And why not?
I just took some nachos, put some cheese on top, threw them in the oven. Nachos. Dinner.
That was dinner. Dinner's done. Dinners look a lot like snacks. Snacks look a lot like dinners.
Whatever.
We were just all very off schedule.
It's fine. It's no big deal. I'm digging it. Like all I need to do is eliminate this.
I know, that's your last thing.
That's it. Like, I'm good. I'll just watch movies all day and eat nachos when I want.
Oh, gosh. I think you need this. I think you need to come in.
Something needs to keep me on schedule.
You have to have this one last string. And if you cut the string, man, you're gone.
You're gone.
You're going to not be able to have a schedule at all.
All right. I'm just saying, like, this all started with, we'll just get some kettlebells for in here, okay? And that way, when we're too tired, we just swing them.
We just got to, I think it would be better if we just got up and walked around a bit.
I'm doing that.
More?
Okay.
More? You need to do it more?
Keep walking back and forth to the kitchen.
A walk around the studio.
Get a little snack? Like,
no,
whatever.
No, we didn't say anything about the snack. We don't have to just, I got up, I get to get a snack now. I think that also hurts it.
Kettlebells. Just a couple.
Or kettle chips. At first, when you said kettle, I did think, oh, yeah, we're getting chips. And it's wrong. It's the other thing.
What if you get, for every kettlebell purchase, you get some kettle chips?
What if you fill the kettlebells with chips in them?
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So we've talked here on the show about streaming this, streaming that, streaming. But a lot of you have been hearing stealing this, stealing that, stealing.
I know it sounds similar with the S's, but one is right and one is wrong.
You know, is it stealing? You're borrowing, really, because you're going to put it back.
Well, yeah.
I mean, so we're talking about piracy, Nikki. Fly the flag. Run up the colors.
Run up all the copies that you got. A lot of people are at home. You're wanting to watch a lot of things. Sometimes the longer you're at home, you forget about the rules of the land.
You know what? What are you going to do? Come over here and arrest me? You got a distance. You can't come in here.
I'm sure eventually they'll still come and get you.
I got corona.
They'll find you. But they are saying that piracy is extra big right now.
According to Musso, they are some sort of a digital something research firm. They say that film piracy during the lockdown has been about 40% higher than usual.
I wonder what they count. Like, I want to see the list of what's being pirated the most during the stay at home.
Actually, you know what? I subscribe to a thing that gives that list. What's the name of that?
Pirate a Day?
No, I won't tell you, but they always have their every...
Oh, they always have the top of the list.
There we go, Nikki. The top 10 most pirated movies of the week, according to BitTorrent.
And don't tell me it's Trolls.
Oh, yeah. That's number 8.
Okay, it's on the list.
That's number 8. The Gentleman is number 7.
All right.
Gretel and Hansel is 6. Arkansas is 5. I don't know what that is.
Don't even want to know.
Bad Boys for Life is at 4. Bloodshot is at 3.
Is that the Vin Diesel thing?
Yes. Fantasy Island is at 2. And then this is one that as a Netflix subscriber you won't quite understand, but Extraction is the number 1 most pirated movie in the world over the weekend.
That's the Chris Hemsworth one?
Yes.
But why? Who doesn't have Netflix?
Lots of people don't.
Lots of people still don't.
See, Nikki, they would say, why are you paying for Netflix? You can just get the movies for free.
I guess people are pirating Netflix stuff.
Right.
I guess that does work.
But as a subscriber, you can't understand why on this earth they would do that.
Sure, and some that might be worldwide numbers too, and there are different places that people don't sign up for it.
I haven't done a deep dive on how they calculate their numbers, but...
It's just piracy. There's a lot of stuff that's being offered for free during the stay-at-homes, but I guess it seems like this is mostly some of the movie releases that came out.
Like, there's a couple of movies in that mix I wouldn't mind watching, but...
I know a lot of the pirating lists are things you would never tell people you would see. They're not like the best.
You wouldn't rent it, but you pirate it just to get a look at it.
Just to see because you're curious, but it doesn't mean it's anything good.
That's fair.
That's how it is.
That's fair.
It's either the top main movies or the things that you would never tell someone else that you wanted to watch.
Like Trolls, for example.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to see that.
But out of the list, it's number 8. People want to see it.
That's the one that I thought would have been higher on the list.
Trolls?
Like, if people are stealing movies, they're like, you know what, I rented this twice, I'm just taking it.
Depends. I mean, that's still what I feel like is a family movie, and they're the ones buying it for $20 for the rental.
Yeah.
I don't know how up they are on stealing it or borrowing it.
Or it's a digital borrow.
Are we going to use the borrow word?
Yeah, it's like a library.
Are people really still listening to the Riot? You don't have work to do or laundry to fold or literally anything else to do? The Riot, Radio U.
You know what? Some people were talking over the weekend like, hey, what if we just re-released the Avengers movies in theaters and then we could all go see the Avengers together again?
Once theaters open back up.
And then I was like, I think people have been locked up for too long. We've just been
You'll
too long.
see anything at the theater. You just want to get out and go to the theater. I know.
That's actually what I thought. I was like, this is the sound of people that don't have anything to watch in the theater.
Well, wasn't it trending because it was the anniversary of it?
Yes.
So that's why they were saying that.
They're just like, we could all just do it again. We could all live it again.
We'll watch. It doesn't matter what we watch. We just miss the act of going to the movie theater.
Yeah, absolutely. That, and for me, while it is true that there are some like older movies that you could get me to go to the movies for, a movie like Avengers Endgame, I don't want to see that in the theater again. I forgot the Blu-ray and it's on Disney Plus. I'm good.
And you already saw it in theaters. You don't want to go again?
No, I just kind of look at that and it's like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. But
that's why I think they have to go back a little bit. Not too old of a movie, but they have to find something that's classic for like our age and put that back in it.
So you're thinking like what? Like Fast and Furious 5?
Yeah, like a whole Fast and Furious thing.
Like all of that. Just remember how emotional that was at the end of Fast 5 and then at the end of Fast 6? And then
I stopped watching them after a while. I don't know. If you want...
Do you remember how emotional it was to experience that with a big group of people and just how it It's just how it was,
Well,
and
like
then the stuff.
I would probably pick like the bad boy movies. You know, you had the 2 old ones, and then you had the newer one.
So, what, like a Bad Boys trilogy run through?
Sure, not so bad to go to theaters. Boys,
Don't you want? What if we did? So, Avengers would be 4 movies.
that's too much. I think.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot of movies. But Bad Boys is 3.
I think they're shorter though. So
Well, that's
they knew their time.
The
They knew
Avengers-
the limit length.
yeah. The Avengers movies, they suffered from runtime bloat,
Yeah, for sure.
overtime.
Well, when you get to be as big of a movie as that, they have that sometimes.
It's all muscle, though.
But there must be something else. And then that way, when we are ready to go back to theaters, you just go and have a really good time. Because you know. And then just, you can take a trash can in and get like extra popcorn.
Hey, a theater not
Or a
near me,
trash
but
bag.
a friend of mine, the theater near his house was selling popcorn out on the street.
Yeah, they do that. You can go and pick it up from the curb.
Yeah, that's just like I want
If
to.
you order it, it's not like they're just leaving it out there, but you can buy concessions and stuff.
Right. Yeah, because that's what I want to do. I love paying movie theater price for concessions. They're like, hey, you can stop buy a Snickers bar for $8.
Maybe it's cheaper.
Oh, look, it's from the movie theater. It's so sentimental, this $8 Snickers bar that's smaller.
Yeah, we know, we're very aware that we now are able, when we watch our movies at home, to have lower pricing for candy.
Look, it's $12 for this soda, but it's from the theater, so I'm really excited.
I could buy it and have it shipped and sent to me at the theater, and it'd be way cheaper than the actual candy that you're having there.
I mean, I get the whole movie theater popcorn thing, but like, this is one of those moments where you want to say to movie theaters, like, yeah, now you got to compete on the street. Not doing so good, huh?
Once you get outside the movie theater, there's a lot of competition.
All of a sudden, your $14 bucket of popcorn seems pretty stupid, huh?
We're supposed to support, though. Come on.
Hey, I'll support. Like, but now it's time to bargain. You got to compete now.
You gotta lower the price.
I can go to the gourmet place across the street and do cheaper on popcorn.
I don't know what the pricing is. I haven't actually done it.
I don't know either. I haven't either.
Okay, but this is what we think it is.
It's kind of like the idea if all of a sudden the airport vendors had to compete in the real world.
True.
Or they're just like, oh, yeah, of course I would pay $80 for this neck pillow. It makes perfect sense. Oh, but 2 for $150.
Listen, it's all broken apart, and you're not supposed to notice it. You're supposed to still just get what you get.
Keith says we should do a 48-hour complete MCU marathon. Oh, man, I got to take naps.
You don't want to do that?
Yeah, but you know what? I could sleep through the Ant-Man movies. That'd probably be good. So, all right, sure, I'm in.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
I'm slow on the uptake, like for real. Everybody else, I think I'm not making up. I really think like in like junior high school, college, I think I was a late bloomer. Everybody else was like, this is a great idea. And then a year later, I would be like, hey, this is a great idea.
We might have seen that, not in grown-up Obi life.
No, it's real. I'm way behind the curve, like way behind it. So when I have just now reached the point where I'm like, quarantine life is for me. I want to stay inside.
In the beginning, you were more anxious about staying inside. And
killing me.
Now you've really hit your stride with it. You're quite comfortable.
Oh, I'm living the dream right now in some ways. Like last night I sat down and watched a movie and I was like, man, it would be cool if there was people here. Oh, well.
Back to the movie.
Back to the movie. And then you realize if there was people here, you wouldn't even be watching this movie. They would be forcing you to do something else.
You're thinking this one through.
Or they'd be like, you know what? We don't like your movie. We should watch something a little more mainstream and fun. Do you have any more of those movies? But we don't buy those movies here. Oh, then why did we even bother coming to your house?
Is all this going through your head?
Oh, we're just digging in. We're on the shores of a vast landscape.
For others, you're like, yeah, let's sit down and watch a movie. And for you got a lot going through, a lot of dialogue.
A lot of dialogue, Nikki. A lot there. But I'm telling you, it's not all bad. And so now I've reached that point where I was mocking and getting angry at people like a week ago that were like, I don't want to go back to normal. I want a new normal. And now I'm like, yes, if this is the new normal you speak of.
You're comfortable.
I like it. I like not having weekends stacked full of obligations.
Now, you don't necessarily have to have that, though, when things do go back to some sort of normal.
Yeah, right.
It could be small changes.
I know, Nikki. I'll start telling people no. I'll start saying...
That's what you're supposed to. Every study says that. Just say no to it.
I'll start saying no to things, and then people will act like it's okay, but they'll quietly grow to resent me, and then I'll have nothing and no one in my life.
But then you won't have anything to do.
Okay.
So problem solved.
Great.
Just a different way of doing it.
In quarantine, I learned to say no. And now I live in self-imposed quarantine.
Oh, boy.
For the rest of my life.
Are you sure we're not supposed to watch over this and make sure it's a balance, that you realize that?
I probably need well, Nikki, I'm about a week away from that. Everybody else has already realized they need a balance. I got to catch up.
You're just a little behind.
You just got to give me a little time to get there, and then I'll be like, I don't think this is such a great idea.
I think we need a balance.
I think we really do need a balance. It just takes me a little longer.
Yeah, glad you recognize that.
So that's fine. Some of it, I feel like growing up, some of it was the fact that I was always the youngest person in my class. Mm-hmm. So like when everyone else was 16, I was 15, and not like by a wide margin. So I think like socially and biologically, I was behind them, though mentally, obviously, years beyond.
You were smarter than all of them. You knew it all.
Smarter than all of them. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Just like now. You guys can tell.
That's why they listen. They're listening to you, and they know that you're just one smart person.
Share your great wisdom with us. Oh, wise one.
Please share with us more about how you don't want to leave the basement. You're comfortable there, and you wish it'd be like that forever for everyone.
Well, hey, don't say it like that.
That's how you've been saying it.
You make it sound pathetic. It's not pathetic.
Not at all.
It's enlightened.
Oh, gosh.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, RadioU.
Go ahead, Nikki.
I don't want to, because then you're like one of those people where they're like, all you care about is getting your hair done. And I just miss it. And I was supposed to go Saturday. And my hair...
coming Saturday.
Yeah, and I don't think it's happening.
Nikki, it's May 2nd. And didn't the governor say May 1st or something?
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to involve that. In our state, I don't think the hair care sort of beauty industry, I think that's going to have to probably wait.
You think so?
Maybe to the second phase, or
what if they,
I don't know how it'll look.
Like, what if they put on a mask and like they had a thing covering their hair and they had goggles and like big rubber gloves that kind of go all the way up to your
See, I think I go to a place that's smaller and there's distance between the chairs.
No, it's smaller, so all that disease is packed in there.
No, I mean, they don't have as many chairs.
Oh, okay.
So everybody's separated enough. I really feel it's just the salon stylist person just making sure. But otherwise, I feel like they still wear gloves already. So it's maybe a mask or something, but I don't think it's going to work out. We'll see what happens.
I don't think you're going.
I don't think so either. But there's other states where you can.
Well, you know what? Just drive.
I could go to another state, but I like going to my person. I don't know.
What if you picked that person up, drove them to another state
lines?
Then
we want to be safe. You know, we do want to be safe. But they were saying how, especially in California, there's a lot of people that have started to ignore the rules, shall we say?
Sure.
And they're doing it anyways. I mean, it's people's livelihoods, and it's been a long time.
I saw a meme the other day that I loved that was like, what kind of a world do we live in that I can walk in the front door and buy marijuana, but I have to meet my hairstylist in a back alley?
Yes, it's exactly it. And I think if you like this hairstyle, then you're fortunate. But right now, what is very popular is the quarantine buzz cut, like you shave your head.
I'm telling you.
But I'm not going to do that. But
you look great.
It's mostly for guys to just shave your head, and that's what you do. And you have the haircut of the month.
Yeah. You're going to, I'm telling you, like, it'll put you back on the cutting edge.
Why don't we talk again? If this stay-at-home stuff doesn't look any different by Christmas, then yeah, you and I take a look by then.
Christmas?
You don't even know. Like, we don't know how long this stuff's going to last.
Yeah, that feels bad. Like, that's when the governor was like, well, we'll see about the fall.
I know.
You're like, wait, what?
It's like with your parents. You got to we'll see, which means what?
The fall.
We'll see means No all the time.
You know what, though? Because I love the quarantine now, it's fine.
Yeah, you're okay. And you don't even care? You don't feel like you need a haircut or anything? Doesn't bother you?
You know what? I've been trimming my sideburns.
It's all you need to do.
You know what? I'm going to come out of this thing looking like John Wick. I'm going to have just long hair.
Oh, long hair.
Except unattractive.
No, you look like John Wick.
Just imagine, what if Keanu Reeves didn't look good?
What if he let it?
That's what my hair's going to look like.
Let it keep growing.
Yeah, and I'm going to just start wearing it. I'm going to let it get long, and I'll just wear it in a ponytail all the time.
All right, well.
And if people say anything, I'll just feel like I'm an artist.
I want us to be safe first. So even if I don't get my hair done on Saturday.
Which you're not.
That I know I'm not. And I'm okay with it because safety first.
You don't mean it.
I do.
You don't mean it. You only mean it like the tiniest little bit.
No, I do. But can't she come like to the other side of the room and like talk me through it or something? Or
there are YouTube tutorials.
No, I can't try it by myself. I don't want to do that. I just want to go to get my hair done.
Look, let's just get some peroxide. We'll take care of it.
It'll be fine. That was my thing to enjoy. That was like my me thing. I don't have it.
It's gone now. It was your soda fountain?
Yes, it was. It was just every 6 weeks, and it was my quiet time. I got to go.
It's fine.
Whatever happens is fine.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You know, there's a rumor floating that Canadians are just so nice. They're just so nice. They would never do anything mean or hurtful, and they certainly wouldn't pollute. But you know what, Nikki? Here's the case of a man in Canada stealing another man in Canada's truck. So what had happened was Emmanuel, he had a 2017 Ram pickup.
Yeah.
He was getting gas, and then he ran into the gas station, left the Ram running, and somebody went running and grabbed the Ram.
Oh, so they stole the car that way?
Took off. So he posts on Facebook, hey, this is my truck, and someone stole it. He starts getting updates from people in town.
Yeah.
That are seeing the truck.
Seen it?
So this is crazy. He calls his dad and is like, hey, Dad, somebody stole the truck. And he's like, hey, you know what? Get over here. His dad owns a helicopter.
They took the helicopter out to find it?
They get in the helicopter.
I guess I always thought the helicopter would be more expensive to run for the time than the truck itself.
So they fire up the helicopter. They go airborne.
They get to the chopper.
Oh, they do, Nikki.
And they find it?
They find the truck.
Hey!
They call the police, and they just follow the truck until the police get there, stop and arrest the guy.
Don't mess with this guy. He's got connections.
He's got... Never in a million years.
I love it. I love that.
Never in a million years would you have believed that the truck you stole belonged to a guy whose dad had a helicopter and would eventually track you down from the air.
You picked the wrong one.
Wrong one.
Hopefully this teaches others just to not pick any at all. But so they caught the guy, or did they just get the truck back?
Oh, no, they got him.
They got him?
They got him. See, what you have to do is if you have a helicopter following you, you have to go to the airport. You got to go a place with restricted airspace so they can't track you.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Though, would you notice the helicopter's following you?
Who the heck knows?
If it was up high enough?
Not me. I'd be in that Ram pickup, like, with my favorite Canadian music cranked. You're just driving around. Oh, Canada!
Look at my new truck.
I stole a Dodge Ram truck.
It's a beautiful song.
I'm going to Timmy's and getting donuts.
Wonderful.
And you're just having fun.
Yeah, you're just driving.
You're just having fun.
Not paying attention to the helicopter that's following you. I love it. That's a good ending to a great story.
Oh, they got him.
So you've learned if someone steals your car, first off, don't leave the keys in and running. Why are you doing that?
Just not thinking about it.
Well, yeah, you should be, and I don't care where you're at. You just don't do that.
You're just having fun.
Don't leave your keys like that.
And just, you run into the gas station.
No, you take your stuff with you.
He's driving a truck. He probably needed some Canadian chaw.
Ew.
And a spittoon for the road. No. We don't know.
Let's just put, if we're going to add a narrative to the story, let's just put that he was going in to get a soda. All right?
But I know he wasn't. Because I've been to Canadian gas stations.
Yes,
they suck.
And gas stations is different there. Well, good for him.
I don't know.
I'm glad that he got his truck back. His dad got involved. And the helicopter that got to take it out.
Yeah. So, Nikki, we should, again, like if we're going to steal a truck this weekend, closer to the airport. And we got to have, a place like our fence at the airport.
We got to have a plan, a bigger plan than what this guy had.
This guy was a smash and grab. Come on, you got to get more complicated than that.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Well, Nikki, you've done it.
Yes.
You finally managed to crack the code.
I cracked the code.
You did it.
Yes.
What'd you do?
I got my stimulus check information in, and so I can get it directly deposited into my account. Woo! Yay! Woo!
Okay, so
I need some cheerful music or some. Can we all just clap
Nikki,
a round of applause?
Let's face it, it's the government. They gonna get you your money.
No matter what, kept trying to put in, like you have to put in your 18 or 19 tax stuff. I don't care what I was doing. It would come back saying we could not verify it. And I got it to work this morning, and I'm so excited.
You did it.
I can get my check deposited now.
Yay!
Oh, it's such a good morning.
So now what are we going to do? Like when you get the money, what are you going to get?
Well, I don't know. How long will it take? Will I get it this week? Will it be next week? What will we get?
I don't know.
I saw someone say that the trick is if you're having problems getting your information in, they said if you put in your address in all caps, that it should work. And I did, even though mine's a P.O. box. I don't know if it was the BOX or something that did it, but it worked this time.
But wow.
It does.
It worked.
It worked. So you couldn't see yours. If you put it in all caps, it works.
What?
Isn't it weird?
That is so stupid.
So yours looks now, you can actually see yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100% what it was. You put your address in all caps.
So the only thing that I have to do is...
So something that I found online as like a Facebook thing actually ended up being a truthful thing, and it worked.
Well, I'll be dipped.
Looky there.
Look at that.
So do you have to put in your bank info now, or is it just good to go?
Yeah, now it's asking me for lots of info I don't have.
Well,
what was my adjusted gross income from 2019? I don't know.
No, you just put in, grab your tax things from 18 or 19. I put 18 because if your 19 isn't in yet.
Right.
So go to 18 and then it tells you it's like line 7 or something. Mm-hmm. And then if you got money back or paid, and then what was the amount?
Why? Okay, so I have a place that I keep that information.
So just put it in.
Well, isn't that fascinating?
I know. So if you've been having trouble, that actually worked for us. As weird as it sounds, that's how that worked.
What?
I know, right?
What?
I'm so excited. Woo!
What are you gonna buy me? Because don't you feel like you should get me something?
Whoever gets their stimulus first.
Yeah, Nikki, you should probably. Yeah.
Maybe breakfast.
Okay, yeah, let's get breakfast.
We could do that. That sounds like a good plan.
I got text messages from Justina. She said that they went to Wendy's for breakfast.
They did.
They sent us a photo of their honey butter chicken biscuit.
It looks good.
Potentially one of the happiest things that's ever happened in their whole lives, probably.
And
even
that's
though
one
they
of
didn't say that.
That's one of the breakfast wedges. So those are there too.
Breakfast.
Wedge.
Hey, does anybody see my tax returns?
Can you pull up my tax returns, please?
Could you look it up for me? I got to check. I'll get to work on that right away.
Aren't you amazed that worked? It worked.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
I want to say hey to Tim. Looks like he bought some bikes with his stimulus check.
Nice.
Julia says she took her Trump bucks and bought a new furnace.
Not as fun as a bike, but sure.
I'm not going to, but you know what I think would be awesome to spend Trump bucks on? I decided this weekend I want to get a 4-wheeler.
An ATV?
Yeah.
Isn't that more than what one would be getting?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think our stimulus check is that much.
You could get a used one for as little as like maybe $2,500 to $3,000.
Yeah,
a new one for like $10,000. Which is, I mean,
where
to
would
be
you
clear,
drive it though?
I asked that question and I got lots of responses.
Can you go take it to a park or something?
Yeah, you got to take it places.
Or a course.
Apparently, if you live out in the middle of nowhere, you just drive it around.
A lot of people around me have gotten into like golf carts, but then they make them look like cars and stuff, or not like a real car, but just They have some add-ons to it.
Hey, those Polaris ATVs are awesome. You know what I mean? Like the I'd love to have one of those. But I could also just go for just a straight up, like, fake motorcycle four-wheeler thing.
Basically, they used to put them out more at Costco when you were leaving the food area. Now they just put a car there, but they used to always have like an ATV or something.
I want one.
Yeah, it's a good idea. But
doesn't that sound like fun? It's so fun.
It does. That's a lot of money for that fun, though.
I know.
That's a lot.
That's what occurred to me. I actually, this is a whole thing, but I was like, all right, like, what do you like to do with your free time? And it's like, I guess play video games. I don't know. I thought, okay, if video games didn't exist, but you were like, hey, what do I like to do? What would you go do? And I started thinking in terms of like, money's no option. And even though people are like, I'd go sit on a beach. I don't want to go to the beach. It's hot.
You could take your ATV
fat.
to the beach.
Like, I don't want to go. But like an ATV though, oh my gosh, so much fun. They are so fun. And then I was like, that's great. Now that, money's not an option, you can have one.
Now that's fantasy, though. That's not the real world.
And then I came back to reality and I was like, wait a minute. I don't have money for this. But then I still went ahead and did some research, just looking into it. Like, hey, what would this cost if I decided that I should go into debt for fun?
You could get one of those the little like motorcycle, the ninja sort of ones.
Yeah.
You can get one of those instead of an ATV.
I actually don't know what that is. Do you mean like a dirt bike?
Yeah, are they whatever they called, grommets or something? They're just like the little motorcycle things.
Oh, we don't know.
You don't want that?
No, that looks like what the bear rides at the circus.
No, but those were cool. You could do that.
Bring out the clown on the little bike. Whee!
Well, maybe you'll get a good deal on the...
No, there's no good deal. I'm not even looking.
You're not going to?
No, because it was one of those moments where you're like, oh, now we can spend the weekend sad that we can't afford an ATV. That's some first world problems right there.
I agree.
It's time to close the laptop.
I can't get my hair done and you can't get your ATV.
Close the laptop and then you just go take a shower and be like, oh my gosh, hot water.
But let's not shut the door on the dream. Because if you have a dream for it, then maybe one day you will.
Nikki, I am not going to, out of the overabundance of wealth working in the nonprofit field, suddenly get an ATV.
Well, you never know. Maybe you can get one of those build your own kits.
It would. In order for that to become an afterthought, I'm going to have to switch careers, which I probably won't.
It'd be an ATV miracle. You
know
can
what?
totally get one.
Here's what I'll do. Today, I'm going to roll down the window in my car and just pretend.
Ooh, go off-roading. Well, don't, because then that might hurt something, and then you got to spend money.
Do you remember that time that Eric and I went off-roading? And it was just
stuck?
like a little bit of mud? It wasn't a lot. It was just like a little bit. Yeah. No, we're good.
That was real off-roading.
Yeah.
It's like 10 feet off the road.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
I got up. I get to get a snack now.